Yeah. Yeah.
Did you not hear about that band Sex Stains that they had play there, and it was all
Sex
ages?
Stains. Yeah, an all ages show for a band called Sex Stains. Yeah. What was the what's the one with the videos where it's the woman talking like this?
I think that's the one from Heavy Breathing, right?
That's Heavy Breathing.
That Majestic Ape.
Yeah, Majestic Ape, yep, and those things. Like, it's all kinds of pedophilia, like implied pedophilia in their videos, implied pedophilia in the art. Yeah. I mean, speaking of art, you have James and James. You have John and his brother, Anthony Podesta, and they have Anthony has, like, all kinds of pedophilic art in his house. He's got that golden statue of, which is supposed to be, like, the Jeffrey Dahmer...
the victim of Jeffrey Dahmer.
The victim of Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah. Like, that's in his house, you know. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's my house. Here's some Jeffrey Dahmer art. Here's some
I hope it falls on him and crushes him.
Yeah, and it's circumstantial, and it's just really creepy. But boy, is it creepy.
Right. Boy, yeah. And these are the same people that are having spirit cooking sessions with Marina Abramovich, the self-professed... I mean, you know, her Instagram is, you know, Marina Abramovich 666. She's not a Jew, according to the internet. She's not a Jew.
She's a Jew.
But that nose knows.
Yeah. If she's not a
Absolutely.
Jew.
Yeah, if she's not a Jew, then, then I'm not Italian. Yeah, so.
If she's a Jew, then I'm not death, I'm dead.
Right.
So even just real quick, so there's all this creepy art, right? So not only is there all that, but what are the chances, really, that this stuff doesn't go back? I mean, in terms of, like, families, I mean, this is not exactly the type of business that you could just go hire anybody from. And I think just in terms of James Alefantis' name, meaning I love children, is it really unreasonable to think that is just part of this whole series of, you know, quote, coincidences, unquote, where it's a family business, and these people obviously love to sort of brag about it with this weird art, you know, so they can sort of put this stuff out there with a plausible deniability. I don't see how it wouldn't be reasonable for them to name their frickin' kids after it.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about, I mean, you're talking about an entire industry. Now, we want to talk about the selling your children into slavery and that kind of stuff, like, you know, Hollywood and, you know, I mean, the child pornography and the pedophilia, I mean, that goes deep into Hollywood. That's one of the reasons why, like, certain people like Corey Haim killed himself, you know, over that kind of stuff. You have, but you have to have the parents sell the children into this slavery, you know? I mean, it's like, you can't blame Miley Cyrus for the way she is. You really have to blame her father for allowing that to happen. You know? Right, yeah, you know, his 15 minutes wasn't enough.
What?
Yeah. So go ahead.
While we're looking at the evidence, like I said, most is circumstantial. There's a couple things that are weird that then I would put this in the slightly more than circumstantial, which is that the Besta Pizza logo, where they use the man, boy, love triangle in their logo, and then as soon as this stuff started popping up, they changed their logo.
Well, I mean, like, even if it wasn't a pedophile thing, like, you'd have changed your logo. You'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, it looks like a pedophile logo. Just change it. I don't care what you change it to. Just change it. Yeah.
Yeah,
but then you've got the New York, you've got these people like mainstream media defending this kind of shit. I think that's actually one of the most significant leads, in a sense, is just the fact that it's being defended by the mainstream media. If there was nothing there, they just would ignore it like they always do.
Yeah, in response of the Reddit CEO actually, like, admitting to, you know, shadow editing people's comments, the fact that every news outlet is just declaring it didn't happen. There was
hashtag fake news.
There's a clear effort on the part of the power structure to suppress this.
Yeah. That's what makes it so scary to me, is that they are censoring this. They are eliminating links on the internet. They're you know, shadow censoring or whatever on Reddit. Yeah, they actually took down. They actually didn't Reddit take down the.
That's why it's on vote now.
RPC.
Yeah, RPT.
Yeah, they took it down. They said that they didn't want them to have witch hunts on their site.
Yeah, frankly, I think one of the best confirmations for any weird shit like this is if the mainstream media denied it, there's definitely something there.
Yeah. How does the enemy react to it? That's how you can tell where you're hitting, if you're hitting the sensitive nerve, you know?
Yeah, that New York Times article where that Cecilia Kang wrote, and she just used fake 15 times in it, but she did not, there was no logical defense of any of this information at all. It was
other than just saying it's
fake, and it was all about, the hurting this poor little guy, this little pizza guy. And that was what got my attention too. It's like, here, we've got this and the Washington Post defending this random pizza guy.
And by the way, this pizza spot happens to be what, 6 to 8 blocks away from the White House?
Yeah.
So isn't it right down
it's
the
quite
street?
close, but it's absolutely not. This guy is absolutely not random. I don't remember which magazine it was, but it's some publication recently named him like the 49th most powerful person in Washington D.C.
GQ.
Yeah. It was GQ now.
Yeah, because his boyfriend, his boyfriend was David Brock, or was at some point, and David Brock was one of the runs Media Matters,
right,
and is big in Bitcoin.
Wait, wasn't he the CTR CEO?
Yeah, CTR.
Yes.
That's
Fucking correct the record.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Podesta is behind both of those also. I think
I was about to say,
started them, and then maybe Brock was, running them.
Yes, I was about to say John Podesta, I believe, started Media Matters. I think it's an organization he actually created.
It's pure coincidence there, Goy.
Yeah.
All these coincidences. There's too many of them.
Yeah, and there's so many of them. I mean, they're just. I mean, there's the connections between all of the people, but that's all circumstantial. And then, but a lot of it is if you're getting into the circumstantial evidence, a lot of it is this coded messages in the artwork. And there is some weird stuff like that. Like Tony Podesta, he has a bunch of weird art by this lady named Biljana Jurdovic. Mm-hmm. And that's the one where he's got one painting that I've seen, and maybe there's more, but I've seen one that's kind of tame, of a girl sitting in front of a subway tiled background, and it looks pretty tame. Yep. But then when you look at this lady's other work, there's all this stuff where there's one where it looks like a boy obviously tied up in front of this subway tile.
There's so many. Yeah, no, that's like one of her themes is this subway tile thing, where it's kind of reminds me of you guys have seen Saw, like, remember, where like the very first episode, the very first one ever, they're in this like locker room type setting where it's subway tiles, it's this white tile kind of sterile environment, yeah. And then there's the ones where it's got like, I think it's 4 or 5 kids, and they're all on their knees and they're all looking backwards over their shoulder, and they're all
wearing underwear.
Wearing underwear, and the underwear are dirty,
Yeah, and they're covering their behinds, and their behinds are red, like they've been spanked.
Right. Yeah, it's just, come on, it's just tongue-in-cheek.
Oh my god, that just reminds me, there was some really fucking degenerate art that was put up at my university when I was going there. There's this building, it's like the architecture building, and they have a little side room that's like, they just put random, like they cycle through different art galleries from stuff on campus, and there's this huge one plastered up on the wall that was colored in crayon of this like weird humanoid thing, but it was colored randomly and had a weird rectangular head, and it was on all fours in a cage with a fucking like dildo machine in its ass.
Jesus Christ.
And this is a art gallery that is totally open to anybody could just walk in, like somebody could have their kids with them and go see this type of thing. And there was some writing on it that I don't remember off the top of my head what it says, and it's hard to see with the picture I took. I'll try and find that one, and I'll include it in the slideshow. It's not really related, but it is disturbing.
Yeah. It's just modern art.
I don't really know how to feel about. I don't want to like start like a big argument about it, but I don't really know how to feel about Christianity in general. But when I look back at Christian painting and the sort of artwork that they were doing, even 100 years ago, a little bit more than in the past, and I compare it to like modern fucking what people like, not even the technique people use to paint, but the things they paint, and it's
yes,
there's this clear downward spiral toward hell.
Oh yeah. Now it's just
Yeah.
how degenerate and